there was an interesting meme that was going around on Facebook. Oni, I'll talk to you in a second. Leave it a minute.
I like it. It's like
Oni.
I need to vent.
Oni.
Oh God, no!
Mr. Knight wants to have his little moment before you come in doing Eric Cartman mode. Yes, it's
like he's coming in as
get down.
It's like he's coming in as goddamn, why am I blanking on the name? He's coming in as Heisenberg. You know, it's like MJ, we need to cook. We need to vent.
There was a meme going around on Facebook, like I say, a couple of weeks ago. There was this picture of both of Bill Cosby, and Ice Cube. It said, "Who thought in the 80s that one would be reviled for his actions and one would be doing Disney family-friendly movies?"
That is a crazy metamorphosis right there, let me tell you.
I mean, particularly when you look at Ice Cube, where, I mean, those of us that have seen Straight Outta Compton,
I have,
because that's the things that were going on in the late 80s when they were putting that album together. I mean, it's almost it's almost like we're seeing the past today, because there are so many controversial things going on around the world with regards to riots and race that it's like I say, it's almost like history repeating itself. You hear some of the things that Ice Cube would put down as lyrics, and the way you see him now in Are We There Yet or Are We Done Yet? It's almost a complete contrast to the sort of situation that he was in, you know, as a really hard and edgy rapper, to now being this family-friendly Disney actor. You kind of think that, you know, how does one go from one to the other? I mean, it'd be like...
Maybe it has... Sorry, go ahead.
It'd be like seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger going from tough, you know, movie action star to I will now dance Swan Lake.
Yeah, he did make a lot of kids movies in the early on in his career, but then again, Kindergarten Cop, when you classify as a kids film, even though those were kids in it.
Yeah, that's more. I guess that's more of a satire where it's like, hey, everybody, you know Schwarzenegger. Guess what? Look at how he handles his latest task, kids. In fact, I think. No! Oh, Dan Williams. I want the Turbo Man doll.
Oh my God!
Spirit.
Put that cookie down. Put that cookie down. I mean, I saw that movie, and I'm like, yeah, I appreciate Schwarzenegger likes to do the cheese, but I'm looking at him like, dude. I mean, I'm all for cheese. I mean, I watched Knight Rider for crying out loud, but there are, Jingle All the Way, quite honestly, was probably cheesier than Twins. Or, what was the other one he did with Danny DeVito? Junior.
Oh no!
Oh boy!
Now I'm remembering the baby Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Who's the daddy, and what does he do?
You know what? I'm trying to look for the trailer for Kindergarten Cop, and I just came to the sad realization: there's a Kindergarten Cop 2.
Yeah, that was with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Why did I have to why did YouTube have to remind me of that thing's existence? Yeah, because that was totally gonna work, having a sequel to a movie like 20 years later.
Right. I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh God.
why is Hollywood all of a sudden making sequels to movies where the original one was set, say, 25 to 30 years ago? I mean, this kind of started with Tron Legacy. I mean, first and foremost, Tron Legacy is a guilty pleasure to me. I don't mind it.
That was at least a sequel that people were asking for 20 years.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that the gap was left that long. I mean, the gap between the first two Terminators was 7 years, which to a degree you could let that slide a little bit. But the fact that with Blade Runner 2049, it was something like 35 years since the original. It's like, don't get me wrong, I'm all for waiting a little bit longer so the script is absolutely polished, the actors can get the right performances, and dependent on, you want to get the right CG look for all the visual effects. I'm all for that. But there's waiting a little bit longer, and then there's what we refer to in the UK as taking the mick, which, as I've explained to Raiden, that's what you know better as taking the piss. It's like, do you really need to make us... I'll give you the best example. The Jungle Book 2 animated movie is like, do we really need to wait 40 years just to see the sequel to that? And it didn't even have any of the charm of the original because, well, I think by that point, Phil Harris had sadly passed away, and they got John Goodman to play Baloo. And to be fair to John Goodman, he did the best with the material he was given. And also, no one can replace Phil Harris as Baloo. And I love Bill Murray, I really do. But live action Jungle Book, Bill, no, no. He butchered Bare Necessities. I'm like, no, Bill, come here. Let me take that microphone away. No, you are not butchering that. No. Ugh. Yeah. That's almost like, apparently in 2000, this was a legit thing supposed to be put in production. They wanted Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake as Danny Zuko and Sandy for a remake of Grease. And I'm like, no.
I think that was definitely like, much like American Graffiti, Grease was kind of like a nostalgic callback to like 50s Americana culture. I think that ship has sailed now. I don't think the world wants to have any more 50s nostalgia.
I mean,
nobody wants this.
Britney.
I don't care if Grease is the word that you've heard and that it's got groove and it's got meaning.
Britney is an okay singer. I mean, she's not Bette Midler. She's not Bonnie Raitt. She's certainly no Madonna. I mean, Madonna on her worst day is better than Britney. But Britney, you're not Olivia Newton-John. Don't even think about it. And Justin, we know he can sing. But he's not John Travolta. Because John Travolta made that character work. And it actually helps.
He doesn't have the Grease lightning.
It actually helps his case. They actually played Danny Zuko when he actually performed as him in the stage version of Grease before actually doing the movie. So he actually knew the character. But back to the point, waiting decades for sequels. As you say, with Tron Legacy, that was something the fans asked for. But why are we getting... Like, another example. With Star Wars Episode 7, were we really...
I want to say yes. I want to say yes, because considering how much expanded universe material is out there that told like numerous generations of stories that took place after the movie. So, and the fact that like up until the new Disney movies, there was still new expanded universe material getting pumped out there because the fans keep buying it. So I want to say most likely there is a portion of the Star Wars fan base that wants to see the universe continue and are bound to see it any other way.
I I'm glad that
and the prequels were god awful.
And people want to see like the Star, like in their eyes, they want to see the Star Wars franchise. What do you call it? Get redeemed. And of course, you know, when The Force Awakens came out, it was one of the highest grossing movies of all time, like beating out Avatar. So obviously, people were excited to see Star Wars again.
Thing is, though, yes. The Force Awakens did become the fastest movie to $1 billion, but that same year, 6 months before it, Jurassic World got to that record first. I'm going to get to what some of my thoughts for The Force Awakens, because I actually sat through that with Random on DVD. I just wanted to get to Dan Williams' point with Tom Cruise on the subject of movies that need sequels or not. Do we or do we not need a sequel to Top Gun? Because I'm kind of on the fence with it.
We do not.
I know that Tom Cruise has said they are filming for the sequel to Top Gun. It's either a little bit later this year or into next year, and he has said he's reprising his role as Maverick.
Oh, God.
I don't know what kind of involvement Cruise is going to have. I mean, is he going to still be the headliner, or is he going to be in a more supporting role? Because Maverick's not a young pilot anymore.
Lord knows he'll probably try to look like a young pilot.
Oh, jeez, no.
The
Tom Cruise in a supporting role, really?
Yeah, he's not going to have any of that. He's gonna have his Scientology supporters, like, you know, quote unquote convince the producers to put him in the starring role.
The only thing I'm going to ask of that movie, one simple thing: you bring Highway to the danger zone, but it's got to be Kenny Loggins singing it. No one else. Do not touch that. That's a classic. Like, leave it alone.
Lord knows people are gonna ruin it anyway.
Like they ruined the Ghostbusters theme.
No. We're not even going to talk about that. No.
Dan Williams, Hail Xenu.
I like Fallout Boy, but no, that was not good. No.
To bring up two examples that Oni and Dan brought up. Well, one is when it comes to late sequels, Jingle All the Way 2 with Larry the Cable Guy and Santino.
Jeez, I've heard that shit is horrible.
Good about that. It's just I'm just leaving this alone.
And I wouldn't call this a sequel, but it's development from Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah. Let's see. And the other one Dan brought up was Blues Brothers 2000. Oh dear God.
Never saw it.
No.
But I didn't hear anything good.
It's just a complete rehash of the first movie, but with none of the charm and the talent and half the Blues Brothers. I mean, John Goodman, Lord knows he tried, and he can perform, but unfortunately, he is no John Belushi.
I remember when Dan Aykroyd was on the Clive Anderson talk show over here in the UK, and he said specifically when he told there was going to be another Blues Brothers, he closed all the windows in his house, and he turned the radiators. Was like, I am going to sweat myself until I can get back into the same outfit that I had for the 1980. He was like, nope, I'm losing this weight. And I thought, okay, you're suffering for your craft and your passion. It's like, that's good. Oh, on the subject of movies that do we really need a sequel to, I don't hear anything good about Son of the Mask.
Oh my God, I saw that in theaters. I thought that was good when I was a kid, but I want to look back at it. Oh my God, that was horrible.
We all saw some god-awful stuff when we were kids and thought it was good.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Because I was talking with Wynn over Skype the other week, and she says she can't even look at the Inspector Gadget movie now with a straight face.
Why?
She enjoyed the Matthew Broderick one in 1999. Then she went to watch it back a few years ago, and she's like, "What was I on?"
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
I mean,
there's one movie that I enjoyed that I look back on. Why did I like this? Remember that Tim Allen movie, Jungle to Jungle?
Oh my god, I remember Jungle to Jungle.
That's kind of a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
It has to be said, with regards to The Mask, they didn't even need to make a sequel to that movie, because that Jim Carrey movie, that still stands strong, even today. Particularly the Cuban Pete scene. That I was watching that the other night. That is priceless. They call me Cuban Pete. I'm the king of the beat. Well, then I'm to go chick chicky boo chick chicky chicky boo.
I guess in a way, it's possible. I can see a sequel to The Mask working without Jim Carrey if you were to do what the comics did, where like you can have different stories, each about a different person with the mask, and that's what they were trying to do with Son of the Mask. But the thing is, they try to be like the first movie, but having no idea how to do so.
Alan coming dressed as a Girl Scout.
Oh my god,
that's feel for the season. Thanks a lot, Lydia.
You have to suffer. I have to suffer. So do you. God,
Oh, there's one thing I want to touch upon with Force Awakens, and this is something I respectfully disagree with Chloe Moretz. Because they would said, do people think that Rey in Episode 7 is a Mary Sue? And I'm going to and even Random pointed this out and showed me scene for scene. She seems to be able to master the way of the Force through one movie, yet it took Luke 3 movies to master his skills as a Jedi. And they said, oh, Luke's a Gary Stu. It's like, yes, because he's such a Gary Stu because he took 3 movies to actually become a Jedi and actually master his skills. And they're saying Rey,
it did took 2 mentors with both Obi-Wan and Yoda.
Yeah.
And yet he supposedly does in one movie. It's like, Chloe, I love you as an actress. I question some of your choices with supporting Hillary, but that's a situation unto itself. But I have to respectfully disagree with her saying, oh, she's not a Mary Sue. And it's like they're only saying this because she's a girl. It's like, okay, as soon as you play that card, that's when the argument loses any kind of weight to it. It's just like, I'm tired of this whole thing. It's like, oh, I'm right because I'm a woman. Pardon?
No.
It's like,
sorry, what?
It's like, Chloe, you're a great actress, but
damn it, she's right. She does have a vagina. My argument is moot.
Okay, I'm not touching that, dude. Whoa.
Oh my god.
Damn right, you shouldn't touch that.
Man.
Damn.
Mark Wahlberg said it the best when somebody asked him about politics. I think I may have mentioned this in a previous episode a couple of weeks back. You want to ask someone a political opinion, ask a politician. I'm only here to act on the silver screen to entertain you. I'm not going to bring politics into what I do because it's not my place to do it. And I'm like, this man just became my hero.
Yeah, that is pretty true. I mean, at the end of the day, like, none of us really are. Well, I'm not sure. Maybe this one might be out of line here, but yeah, I could say none of us are really all that well versed with the complexities of politics, and so obviously there are people who follow politics more than others, and they would probably have more knowledge and would come up with a better argument to get their points across. Meanwhile, with people at Hollywood, sure, maybe a good portion of them know their way around politics. Maybe some of them worked within politics or knew people who are involved in politics, but at the end of the day, they're actors and their main profession is entertainment. So on face value alone, we can assume that they do not know as much or probably know as much as we do. So, and I guess it's like, why should we listen to? Why should their voice be much more important? Why should we listen to their voice simply because they're famous? I mean, again, I don't want to say that all actors know jack shit about politics. I don't want to say that, but I do want to say that we do have to consider how much they do know about politics if we want to listen to them.